G'day everybody and welcome back to the All Things Essendon YouTube channel. I hope everyone had an awesome Christmas day and Christmas period with family and friends. Boxing Day is just finishing up here. I've been watching the cricket all day. What a crazy game that's been. Aussies on top again, like they have been all series, 3-0 up. So definitely bucket list to get back to the MCG for Boxing Day test one day. But this is an Essendon YouTube channel and I thought, only a few days to go left going into 2026. What are 5 questions that we might get answers for in 2026, or I guess really unknown questions that we're not really sure about heading into the new season. So I thought of these 5. Let me know your questions or what you want answered in 2026 by the Essendon Footy Club, whether it be coach, player, system, whatever it might be. Let them know in the comments below, and please like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this sort of stuff, and we've got some cool ideas planned for 2026. So let's get straight into it. So first question is, who will be Essendon's number 1 ruck in 2026? This is a tricky one. So and if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But in my early best 23 video, I had Lockie Blackiston as the starting ruck for round 1 at this point in time. I'll base that off, I guess he's a bit more experienced. Vicentini's probably not quite ready yet for AFL, like full game in the ruck sort of thing. So, and I wouldn't plan on us picking 2 ruckmen to start the season. I'd be having Peter Wright as that other option to go in and spend some minutes in there. But Lockie Blackiston, I don't think he's going to be number 1 ruck all year. Vicentini might get into some good form. Nick Bryan's coming back from his ACL, so I think you'll see him probably, maybe middle of the year off, like onwards. Yeah, it's a really interesting question, really interesting topic. Like either of these 3 could end up really going to the next level, or Nick Bryan probably, if he's fit, is a number 1 ruck, but how's he going to be after a knee? He's probably going to take a little bit to get into things again properly. Do we play 2 rucks? Like, there's all the questions that I think we'll hopefully find out as the year goes on, and hopefully one of these 3 really stand out to be that number 1 ruck option. If I had to pick Bryan at the picture, Blackiston or Vicentini, long term I think Vicentini's the better option. I think he's got a lot of growth still in him. He's still young. Rucks take years and years and years, and we're slowly developing him. He shows some good signs. He really played some good games in the VFL last season, getting 30-40 hit outs. He's just got to slowly transition that to AFL. Won't happen overnight. Look how long Nick Bryan's taken, and he's still not, I think, anywhere near at his peak yet. So, let me know who you think the number 1 ruck will be by the end of next season, whenever we finish up. Will it be Blackiston? Will it be Vicentini? Will it be Bryan? Is there a mid-season draftee that comes in? Let me know who you think will be our number 1 ruck. On to the next one. Second question here of the 5, and this is one I think a lot of Essendon fans really don't know the answer to, and I think we're all kind of waiting for one of these 3 to go to the next step. But yeah, question number 2 is, will Reid, Perkins or Cox, one of them 3, or all 3 of them, or 2 of them, finally take the next step in 2026? So we know Reid's talent, we know how good he can be, and his ceiling's really high as a tall defender, as an interceptor. He's good one-on-one, his skills are really good, he just can't stay fit. If he can have a full season in the AFL system, I think you'll see him blossom and really just become... He did it in that 5-6 week period in 2025. We just don't see it enough because he's always injured. So can he get a free run at it injury-wise? Is his big question mark. Archie Perkins is a tricky one. He shows little glimpses. I think he's better around goal than he is a midfielder. He doesn't have that real quickness off the mark that I thought he had going in when we drafted him. So, but he's really smart around goals. He knows where the goals are. He takes his opportunities, but it's go time for Archie, and we've got to really see him kind of take that next step and next level. Otherwise, his spot in that side's going to be really tricky for him. The games aren't just going to be given to him now with Roby, with Sharp coming into the system. His spot's got to be under pressure. So we need to see more from Archie Perkins. but I think he's more of a half forward than he is a midfielder, in my eyes anyway. And the last one, Nick Cox. So it's been a tricky probably 2 years for him, really. It's been a tricky time since his first year, like really. He really showed some good signs in that first year. We just didn't know where to play him, and he just kind of got run down. We probably played him too early and been injured a few times. He's got a really light frame. His skills and his just confidence dropped off. And then he had the concussion issue, so he didn't play at all last year. He is doing the pre-season now, but what we're going to see from Nick Cox, I don't know. I really don't. So of the three, he's the one obviously I'm most worried about in terms of seeing his potential or kind of getting him, solidifying a 23 spot into next year. So yeah, big concerns for Nick Cox, but I hope for his sake he can have a good run at it. Not get any of these concussion symptoms, cannot break down, and can just even get a full season or 3/4 of a season in the VFL and get some continuity back into his game. So I doubt he has some talent, but whether we're going to sit at AFL level going forward is probably a tricky one. But yeah, that's a second question. Who do you think of them three? If you had to pick one, who's going to go to the next step and really just going to be a really, really good player and the best player out of these three. Righto, guys, quick pause before we get into the next question. If you're like me and you like watching footy content, reading AFL news or streaming stuff on public Wi-Fi, or even while travelling, I always recommend using NordVPN to keep your data secure. Right now, NordVPN is offering a staggering 73% off with 3 months free, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. There's literally no risk if you want to try it. I've got my personal link at the top of the description as well on the video below here. If you use that, it helps me support the channel and helps keep your data safe. So question number 3, and probably most broad and open one, but who will kick our most goals in 2026? So obviously we've got a really young forward line, Caddy, Kako. If Huss plays, Archer May, Peter Wright's your older head down there who didn't kick that accurately last season. Kyle Langford's been really injured the last 2 years, so how many's he going to kick? There's no Jake Stringer now. Does Roby play? Does Shark get into the team? Archie Perkins, do the mids can go forward? Like Sam Durham kick goals? Fiorini, there's no Martin. There's so many question marks on our forward line, and where our goals got to come from again. That's probably going to be one of our biggest concerns is kicking enough goals to win, games of footy. There's no doubt our forward line has talent. It's just really young. Is it got to gel? Especially if something like his Gresham got to play, it's Golfy got to get in that side. They're not they don't consistently kick 2 or 3 goals. So yeah, it's a big ask for a young group. Obviously Kako might, hopefully has a better year. It really goes on from his first season. Caddy 3rd year. So you hope guys like that can, kick 30, 40 goals, but it's going to be hard when they're probably going to get a lot of attention. So where they got to come from? I mean, we need the Zach Merretts, the Jai Caldwells, your wingers, Durham, Fiorini. If Sharp goes into the midfield, if Sardis plays, Darcy Parish. I think we need the mids to kick more goals. They haven't done that for a long time now at the Essendon Footy Club. You need your mids to kick goals. Sam Durham's probably the only one that can really do it consistently. But yeah, where are they got to come from? I know we've got to be able to kick enough goals to win games of footy. I know defence has been our problem for a while now, leaking too many goals, but even if we improve that, we're still going to be able to kick 15 goals plus a week to win, and I don't know if we can do that at this point in time with our young list. So yeah, who's going to kick them? Who is there going to be a surprise packet? Is someone like Archer May going to come out and kick heaps? Lockie Liam McMahon, can he come out and kick 3-4 goals, 4 or 5 times and really kind of solidify himself in that 23? Who knows? But it's a big question mark, I think, for us, and when it comes to winning games of football and just where they got to come from. So yeah, who do you think? Who is a question for you? Is who will be our leading goal kicker? Next year. Let me know down below in the comments. Question number 4, and probably a controversial one, but is Brad Scott safe as coach in 2026? First thought is yes. I think he has a contract to the end of 2027. If I'm not, I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's where it lies. They are all the talk from Welsh, and the board and, well, the CEO who's no longer there, Craig Vozzo, is that this is like I haven't called it a rebuild, but a reset on a real, like, it's a really young list and it's got to take some time. I know Bombers fans hate hearing that, but this is probably the first time I feel like we've actually properly done this over the last 3 years. There's got to be like 20, 25 odd blokes who aren't on our list anymore who were, it's a fairly big cutoff. We've drafted like at least 14 or 15 guys the last 3 years as well, plus the mid-season guys that are still on the list. There's been a lot of list turnover, and it's got to be an even younger side next season than it was this season. So that's an out for Brad. But if we are really struggling and down the bottom of the ladder, around 14, 15, is the media got to pile on him? And will Essendon fans kind of have enough and just give up on Brad and what he brings to this footy club? It might happen, and there's got to be, and the heat will come if that happens. So, would the board make a change? I think they're going to back Brad in for at least for the next 2 years. But what happens, if we're really struggling to win a game and shit hits a fan, then the media pile on will make it tricky and will make it for tough times for Brad. So, I think he's safe. But you ask a lot of Essendon fans and even maybe people in the media, they're not sure he's the man for the job. So, the heat will come if we're struggling. Obviously, it won't come if we start the year really well and win some games and you see some exciting footy. If you see bland footy and we're losing, it's got to start to heat up. So it's a very interesting watch next season to see how this goes and how Brad handles it, how the club handles it. Media hates us. Mostly we know this. So if we are struggling, they've got to come after him. And the next question below is going to be about Zach Merrett, and that situation will probably, flare up again if we're struggling. So it's going to be the heat and the watch is on Brad for sure next season. And it's going to be interesting to watch. So this is a watch your space. On to the last question. And the last question for the video, and probably the most asked one, or people that, a lot of people are not sure about, and I'm worried about next season, and that is what happens with Zach Merrett. Not just how he performs and how he comes out. Obviously, he's no longer the skipper, but is he going to request a trade at the end of next season all over again? I think that's I don't think anyone really knows. I mean, I know his manager said that's going to happen, but things can change a lot in 12 months. Danaher wanted to go to Sydney, ended up in Brisbane. He's still contracted at the end of next year as well for another season. So, what's going to happen here is a really interesting one. I hope for Essendon's sake and our sake that he has a really good year. We have a really good year, and he stays on and doesn't request a trade. Is that got to happen? I think it's more than likely he tries to get to Hawthorn again at the end of next season. He clearly wanted to really be there. He thinks that they're going to have success. Well, they clearly are going to have probably success quicker than we are. And they really need a midfielder of his type. But if they get Butters, then they don't need Zach Merrett, and I don't think that's going to happen. So they might do the backflip on Zach if that, in terms of Merrett. If that happens, if Hawthorn end up with Butters. So, and then in terms of the year, he's going to have, I think he's a professional athlete, obviously. I think he doesn't like losing, and I think he's a really hard at it guy. So, and he, personally and for the club, I don't think he's fully abandoned the footy club. I know he didn't get the trade done, but he's really professional what he does. I'd be surprised if he wasn't at his normal, really high standard and really good level next season. And obviously the captaincy is no longer on his mind. He's not in the leadership group, although he can still be a leader, and Andy might lean on him a bit, but he can worry about his own footy, he can focus on himself, kind of get the best out of himself for the team. So he'll still be really good for the Bombers next year, and probably he still is our best player. So there's no sugarcoating that, no doubting that. It's just more what sort of season we have and where he is at the end of next season. And if he wants to go to Hawthorn, they might have a shit year and he might not want to go there anymore. So there's so many scenarios that can happen. But for my sake and all you Essendon fans, let's hope he stays and is part of our hopefully finals campaign, premiership in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, however long it is. Like, I just hope he's part of it. So you want someone like him. That's why it sucks. Someone like Heppel and Joe didn't really get the final success that they probably deserved for being loyal to the footy club. So, yeah, that's it on Zach Merrett. Hope you all enjoyed the video. This sort of video, obviously, been a little bit different to what I normally do. Let me know if you like it, like this sort of vibe and setup. It's pretty average background. We'll get that better over time. But yeah, thanks heaps for checking out this video. Hope you all have an awesome New Year's. And we'll be back, new video probably just in the first week of January, and get things rolling when pre-season starts up again. If you've got any ideas of what content you want, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, really appreciate the support, and we'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Cheers.